Shalom, out here another week, doing the Father's will. We are the Israelites, and first and foremost, before we get this thing started, man, we got to give all praises, glory to Yahweh, Hashem, and double honors to the Apostle, great millstone. And as always, we're just going to go through the Spirit of the Lord. And through the Spirit of the Lord, everything's going to work just fine, man. With these precepts, and we're going to edify what we're dealing with here, or whatever comes to our mind, you know. So yeah, brother, read that.
Isaiah chapter 46, start from verse 9. Verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am God and there is none else.
Yep.
I am God and there is none like me.
Right.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
Right. Declaring the end from the beginning. So how is the Lord declaring the end from the beginning? By revealing these things, these words to the prophets. This truth, this water, this oil. Alright? So once we receive this truth, this understanding, then we have the end, and we also know about the beginning of it all. Okay, this can include all of the different worlds that were erected at one time. We can talk about ancient Egypt. We can talk about the Tower of Babel, and all of these previous empires that came about, and this empire. Alright? Declaring what? The end to the beginning. Okay, declaring the beginning and also declaring the end, excuse me. So, this is what we have. This is the true doctrine that overrides all doctrines and philosophies that were man-made. Alright, but like I said before, going back to what I was saying, this is a society that has all kinds of knowledge and information, and they fuse it together, and then they knock out the complete truth, which is the Bible. Like I said, once you know the Bible, everything becomes stable. You become stable-minded. You become, like the saying goes in the scriptures. It says, "The shoe shall make you free." You're free from what? The lies and all of the things that offend you in this world, and ultimately the things that offend the Most High. You're free from all of that. Yeah, go on, man.
And from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
Right, and from the ancient times of the things have not yet done. Okay, go on.
Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Right, and his counsel shall stand, and the Lord will do all his pleasure, because all that which is within his counsel includes the prophecies and the words that we read to you. Okay, and speaking of his counsel, let's read Proverbs 19 and 21. Yeah, Proverbs 19 and 21. So that's just the whole ordeal. There's no other philosophy out there that's true, but this philosophy. Okay, you have all kinds of religions out there, but there's only one truth, and it's the Bible, man. The true understanding of the Bible, because you may know of the Bible, but you don't understand the Bible. Like many so-called, proclaimed Christians. Go on, bro. And I'm not saying that to make mockery of anybody. I'm saying that because it's what it is. And this is why people are sick, they're demented, because they don't have the truth. Go on, bro.
Psalms 19, yeah?
No, not Psalms 19, Proverbs 19.
Oh, Proverbs 19.
Yeah, Proverbs 19 and 29. So that's just the whole ordeal. Once our people come back to the truth and what they are, who they really are, then everything is stable. Everything comes back together. But when you have all of this confusion out here, one's a Rasta, one's saying he's a Rasta, the other one's saying he's a Muslim, the other one's saying he's Buddha. There's your division. How can you come together with all of these philosophies? You can't come together. So that's the only way you can come together and build and bring to life whatever it is that you're going to build is if you come back to the street then. Okay, that's how the nation is brought back to life again. Through the word of life. Go on.
Right. Proverbs 19 verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord shall stand.
Right, there's many thoughts and plans and agendas that that man has, but there's only one agenda at large, and that's the agenda of the Lord. So go back to what we had before, brother.
Isaiah 46 verse 11. Calling a ravenous bird from the east.
No, read verse 9 again.
Verse 9 again.
Yeah.
Isaiah 46 verse 9. Remember the former things of old.
Yeah.
For I am God and there is none else. I am God and there is none like me.
Right, there's no other entity. There's no other God. Okay, there's There's no other, you know, power which is like our power. Okay? Everything that you see on this planet, in this existence, was created by him and him only. Okay? So the entity that brought forth life, as we see today, we talk about sea life, we talk about the life of the birds, we talk about the trees. These things have life, and in order for you to create something, okay, in order for a power to create something, he would have to have life to bring forth our life. Okay, go on, bro.
Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning.
No, 9, read 9 again.
Isaiah 46 verse 9.
Yeah.
Remember the former things of old. For I am the Lord,
Yeah,
and there is none else.
yeah, keep going.
I am the Lord, and there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning.
Right, and that's what's happening right now. And in order for that to go down, the word of the Lord has to pursue the minds of the men of the law, the prophets, to declare the end from the beginning. So the Lord is already doing that right now. Okay, what are we declaring every time we come out in these streets? When we do our sit-down shows, what are we declaring? We're declaring the downfall of this Edomitic Romanized system. And the main thing that we talk about a lot is the destruction of America, the prophecy of that. So that's declaring the end. Go on.
And from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
Right, and the things of the ancient, things that happened in the ancient world. So we have those records. This is what we're reading right now. We're reading the book of Isaiah, which is a old ancient record. Go on.
Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Right, he's saying that his counsel shall stand. And meanwhile, yeah, Isaiah spoke these words, but the Lord was speaking through him, bringing the point home on how his counsel is going to stand, and he shall bring it to pass. Okay, so any other plans that man has, if it ain't backed by the Most High, it's not going to come to life. Okay, the whole idea of where we're free, we have the ability to make our own choices and all of these different things, that's not really true. Now it looks like you have your own free will, but in all reality, you don't have no free will. You're doing everything according to the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay, what the government is doing all over is by the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay, the whole situation between the government and the people, that's willed by the Father. Again, go on, bro. Yeah.
Proverbs 20 verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord.
Right, man's goings are of the Lord. Go on.
How can a man then understand his own way?
Right, how can a man then understand his own way? See, every little thing. Oh, let me say it like this: every micro thing to a major thing that you may see, okay, or even a micro thing that you don't see, it's all controlled by him. So the whole idea is that we have freedom. God gave us some freedom. That's just ignorance. That's just someone speaking in ignorance because they don't know the absolute truth like we do. Okay, and I'm not saying that to be braggadocious. No, we have the absolute truth. It's just a fact. Okay, this is why we're able to stand up right. You know, so it is what it is, man. Go on, bro.
Isaiah 46 verse 11. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executeth my counsel.
Right, the man that executed his counsel. Who is that man that's going to execute his counsel? Yahweh Shah. Because it talks about how when he comes, he's gonna come as a travailing woman. I mean, he's gonna come angry, man. Yep. So that's the second coming of Christ, as people like to call him, which we call him Yahweh Shah. But when he comes back, he's not gonna come back as a happy old figure God. No, he's gonna come back angry because of what's being done on this earth. Because you have the wrong people that's setting forth unrighteous laws and corrupting everything, corrupting his creation. So when you corrupt God's creation, there's a recompense to that. There's consequences that comes after that. Okay, like when you was a little child, and you went against the rules of your parents, you got the discipline. Okay, go on, bro.
Isaiah 46 verse 11. Calling a ravenous bird from the east,
Yeah.
the man that executeth my counsel from a far country.
Right.
yea, I have spoken it, I will also bring it to pass.
Right. He's spoken it, and he shall bring it to pass. So again, we're speaking it once again. You know what I mean? So when we read the records, the old records of the ancient times of the ancient prophets, that was this counsel that was being spoken. So once that happens, now it's going to come in effect. Like for example, we're speaking about what's within his counsel. So if we're speaking of his counsel in this day and age, then the prophecies that are written before our times is going to come in effect. Yeah? And let's just say if we don't speak about this is going to come to pass anyway.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
So I say something.
Yeah, go on.
It doesn't matter how many of us you kill. It's not. Listen, you're only going to kill who the Lord wants you to kill.
Exactly.
You know, but it's going to come to pass.
Exactly.
Like it came to pass when slaves in ships lost our identity, called bywords. The Lord said He will wake us up, put water, sprinkle us clean.
Right.
That's happening, man.
It's happening now. Yeah.
So what can they do?
And they couldn't stop that.
Stop it, man.
It's not. That was not under their control. So what we're talking about are things that are not under man's control right now. So if man has free will and a choice, then they can stop this from happening. They can stop prophecy from happening. Or let's just take it up to let's take it all the way upstairs. The powers that be. They can't stop this. They couldn't stop us from gaining this information. Okay, the apostles even brought it out how they said, these men, that's of a higher elk in government. They spent billions of dollars to prevent this information from getting out. So they were able to spend so much money because they got the money to hide the truth. But even so, we still got the truth. The truth was still able to find us. Yeah? Matter of fact, brother, don't drop anything. Hold you down. Get me Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, the 14th verse, man. Because see, the thing with the truth is like a bully, man. If you dig the truth all the way down, the truth is gonna come right back up. That's how it goes. It's just, you can hide the truth, you can do whatever you want to do with it, right? But it's always gonna come back up. And that's something that we have to really stick to. You ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice. You give me Ecclesiastes 3 verse 14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 14.
Yeah.
I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever.
Yeah, it should be forever.
Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it.
Exactly. It's like in these school systems nowadays. They're hypnotizing these little kids out there on how it's okay to like the same sex. Because what they want to do is they want to recreate the will. The Most High already set it up for a man and a woman to bring forth a life, bring forth children. But what they're saying is you can bring forth life with 2 men or 2 women. And I was reading something on RT, and this is going on in America where they have doctors now. What they're looking to do is they're looking to stop the growth of children. Like for example, if it's a male child, what they were saying was in order to stop the growth of the male child, they would have to cut his gonads off. This is what they're looking to do. They spent 5.7, I believe it was $1 million to do this. So this is what they're doing. So Esau's trying to do away with the wisdom and understanding of the law. That's what the powers that be are trying to do, because if they can do such a thing, that means that they can recreate the will and they can escape from prophecy. They can escape from the truth. And that's really the agenda and the plans of the powers that be. What they intend to do is destroy truth. That's their intention. But you can't destroy the truth. You can't go over it and there's no going under. It's constant every time. It's like it's trying to destroy the oxygen that you're breathing in. How stupid could you be? Go on, bro.
And God doeth it that men should fear before him.
Exactly. So whatever we see on this planet that's moving and that's breathing, okay, or things that don't move, it's going to be here forever, including this earth. The earth is going to be here forever. The the way nature has it is going to go forever. So it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of effort. It's a waste of money and energy to try to destroy the Lord's creation. All right, and also trying to destroy the nation of Israel, the Israelites. It's a waste of time. Okay, and the Lord is going to show that He's really running things. Go on.
Continue with Ecclesiastes, so go back to Isaiah 46.
Yeah, go back to that.
Isaiah 46, verse 12. Hearken unto me, ye stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness.
Right.
I will bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off.
Right, it should not be far up. Go on. And it's not far up right now, because all you got to do is go on the internet, go on the YouTube line, type in Israelites, and then you're going to find the truth right there. Okay, or you could just type in G, and then you would find GMS teaching the truth. So the truth is not far up. Go on.
Verse 13. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off.
Right, it should not be far up. Go on.
And my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion for Israel my glory.
So it says that He will place salvation in Zion. So that knocks out everybody. That means that the Lord ain't gonna save everybody. Oh shit. Let's read that again.
Isaiah 46 verse 13. I will bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry.
And His salvation should not tarry. And the proof of that is in the book of Matthew. It talks about how the Most High is hastening the days, quickening the times and days. You can give me that, brother. It's in Matthew 24. Like I said last week, when you look at how time is rolling, it's like we're doing this thing every day.
Yeah.
So the Lord is hastening His salvation. His salvation is near. So the closer we get to His salvation, the more, the closer we get to the end, the more quicker the days are coming. All right, wait, go on.
Matthew 24 verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time.
Right, go on.
No, nor ever shall be.
Yeah.
But except those days shall be shortened,
Right.
there shall be no flesh be saved.
Right, there should not be no flesh be saved.
But for the elect's sake,
Yeah.
those days shall be shortened.
So that's how the salvation is quickening. It's quickening itself.
It's going fast.
It's going quick. And before you know it, things are going to change. We're going to enter into that everlasting change. Okay, when you're reading the book of, Corinthians 15, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, it talks about the change. Only Israelites are going to get that. No other nation is going to get that change. Only Israel is going to get that. Okay, and that's the complete truth. So it doesn't really matter if lies are winning right now. It doesn't matter what's winning. Okay, if a lie is winning over the people, that don't mean that the truth is knocked out for good. Okay? Because the one thing about a lie is not constant. A lie only lasts for a period of time and then it just goes down. You don't see it no more.
It's like,
Boom. Yeah, you're going.
yeah, just like the Holocaust, man. Everyone, well, a lot of people now know it never happened.
Be the best person.
They would die. I saw that video when they had an Asian Elamite there.
Yeah.
She was going, what about Hitler and the Holocaust and this, that, and the other? But now, people know now, man.
Yeah.
But that lie was from what, 1945? And then it started to hear the truth in the 90s,
Right.
where a Jewish guy, David Cole, examined the concentration camps. Okay? What was it?
Yeah, you're going.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools,
Yeah.
but as wise.
Right.
Verse 16. Redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Right, redeeming the times because the days of evil. So that's what we're doing right now. We're bringing you back on what's really going on in terms of this reality. And the way that we're redeeming you is by this truth. We're bringing you back to the truth, which is the reconciliation of Israel back to the Most High. Okay, but it's all through his word. Go on, bro.
A little bit more here. Ephesians 5 verse 17. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is.
Exactly. So we know exactly what the will of the Lord is. We know exactly what his will is. And his will is written in the book. So there's no, like I say, there's no other philosophy or truth out there that can compete with the truth, which is the Bible. And just to further back what I'm saying, brother, you can get the book of Matthew 24, and I believe it's a verse where it talks about it says that heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So if you can get me that, brother. Got it? Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away.
Yeah, that's it. Matthew 24, verse 34.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled.
Exactly. Go on.
Verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away,
Yeah.
but my word shall not pass away.
That's the truth. Simply put, the truth. The truth cannot pass away.
Pues entonces así no podemos investigar.
So we live in a world where people are under the influence of different religions and that kind of sort of thing. And if it doesn't go along with the word, then it's a lie. It can only but be a lie. And what happens with lies only go but for so long. Only goes for so long, but when a lie goes out of there, the truth will always remain. And what is the truth? The truth, the Bible is the truth. Like I'm going to say again, the whole earth and its existence, the way the earth was created is spoken of in the Bible. This is the word of God. This is the word of the Creator. Okay, it has the universal laws on how to conduct yourself on this planet. The Quran doesn't have these laws. No other religious book have these laws other than the Bible. Okay, so if the Quran is the book of God, then there would have to be the laws of God in that book. But where are they? Nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
Yeah, go on.
yeah, it's like where the Quran doesn't say that Muslims are going to be oppressed in the last days.
That doesn't say anything.
It doesn't say anything like that.
Prophecy.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything like that.
Because where they get me, if it does speak about prophecy, where is it coming from? It's coming from the Bible. Go on.
Matthew 24 verse 36. But that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Right. And the only way that we know that the end is nigh is based on the signs, the clues that the Lord has given us. Okay, like when we see the different phenomenons that's happening in the outer space, when we see what's going on with people down here on earth and in the lower case of heaven. These are all signs alluding to the second coming of the Lord. So he's given us the clues to see what's happening and what it's going to bring forth. Yeah, go on, man.
Acts chapter 2 verse 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood.
Right, go on.
Before that great notable day of the Lord come.
And that's your blood moons. That's what Paul was. That's Paul talking, right?
Acts, yeah, I think so. The Acts of the Apostles. Peter.
Right.
I think it's Peter.
Yeah. So Peter was saying, look, the moon shall turn into blood before the dreadful day of the coming of the Lord. And that's the truth. Because we see that happen. It was spoken. What did we just read, brother? Go back to Isaiah 46.
Yeah, Isaiah 46.
You know what I'm on when he said, I spoke in it and it shall. Yeah, get that.
Oh, you mean declaring the end from the beginning?
Yeah.
Things that are not yet done?
Right, yeah, get that, yeah. And there's a verse that we read here that talks about how they spoke and it came to pass. Yes,
Isaiah 46 verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning,
right.
and from ancient times the things that are not yet done.
You're going.
Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do my pleasure.
Right, go on.
Verse 11. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executeth my counsel from a far country. I have spoken it,
That's the one right there. You're going.
I have spoken it, I will also bring it to pass.
Right, so it says that the Lord has spoken it, and then therefore he will bring it to what? Pass. So what did Peter say in Acts chapter 2? Let's get Acts chapter 2.
Acts chapter 2 verse 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood.
And by the way, Peter was a prophet. Peter was also a psalmist. Okay, and what I mean by that is he was King David in the reincarnation. If you can perceive that. Go on.
The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come.
Exactly. So that's happening. So Peter spoke it 2,000 years ago, and it's happening right now.
Yeah.
Declaring the end from the beginning. Go on, brother. You want to say something?
We had a blood moon last July.
Yeah, last year,
Remember
yeah.
you told us to do a video on it?
Yeah.
And there's a video on YouTube. I saved it. I haven't watched it yet, but there's one coming up, I think.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying, and it was a woman that put it on there, but she's saying that the blood moon is coming, man.
Right.
Right? So in the next few months, you gotta watch out. That's a science.
And what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to keep up on the dates, because I believe there's another blood moon coming this year as well. So these blood moons represent the end of this world, the end of the so-called white man. Let's just put it factual and be more specific. Go on, bro.
John chapter 15, verse 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them,
Yeah.
they had had no sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. When it says cloak, it means excuse. Because you ain't got no excuses now. Because the righteousness is not far away.
Right.
It's on the internet.
Right.
It's on Google.
Yep.
It's even on, like we use YouTube and other ones. Vimeo. Israelite groups are on there.
Yep.
Websites. We've got crackers doing videos to wake you slave-minded blacks up. So, you know what I mean?
It's all in there.
It's all in there. There's no excuse. We even had in the last few months an Edomite guy who was in Goff, and he said, "Are you teaching about the Hispanics and Native Americans
Right.
being the children of God? Because they are."
Right.
We had an Elamite Asian girl said the same thing. She said, "What Israelite camp are you?" So there's no excuses.
There's
now,
no
man.
excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. And I mean, you have them other Israelite camps, but although they don't teach the complete truth, but I will say this: they do teach the truth, though. And the truth is that the so-called blacks, the so-called Latinos, Native American Indians are the Israelites. And that's the truth. That's a part of the truth. Yeah?
That's it.
So that's all right. But I mean, but the Lord requires that we teach the complete truth.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. John chapter 8 verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right, and the truth shall make you free. So going back to what I was saying earlier before, the more you're in tune with the truth, the more stable everything becomes. And the reason why things become more stable is because your mind is more stable. All right? This is why it says in the book of Isaiah 30. Please get me that.
Isaiah 33 verse 6, right? Wisdom and knowledge.
Right, there you go. Yep.
Isaiah 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
So why does it say the wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time? Is it talking about any kind of wisdom, any kind of understanding? No, this is talking about the understanding and the wisdom of this book, the Bible.
Yeah.
So the more you know the truth, the more you become stable-minded, and it's very well factual. All right, and this is why we're able to, go day to day in our lives and not bug out, not get caught up on drugs, smoking cigarettes, and doing all kind of craziness, or trying to do anything necessary to get away from reality.
Yeah.
Because we're stable within the mind. Okay, we don't need to worry about, I gotta make new friends because I feel alone and all of this bullshit. We don't have to do all of that because we're already stable here. It all begins here. If this is unstable, then your life is gonna be unstable.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be unstable. So going back to what I was saying before, when you're dealing with the complete truth, everything reverts to being stable.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is why everybody out here, they're bugged out. They don't know what to do. They're killing themselves. They're acting ridiculous. Yeah, and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's because of the lack of not knowing the truth. Ignorance.
It's true.
Go on, bro.
Let me just finish this off. Isaiah 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times,
Yep.
and strength
Yep.
of salvation.
And it's the strength of his salvation. Go on.
The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
And that's the core of it all. It's the fear of the Lord. Once you fear the Lord, then you grow in wisdom. You start to be keen in your walk. You start to look at things from a different light. All right. But then when you walking without the fear of the Most High, what are you walking in? You walking in ignorance. It's staggering. You're doing the things that you don't need to be doing. Okay, you're making countless of mistakes. Because there's no what it's really saying is because you don't fear the Lord, you don't have no discipline. When you don't have no discipline, you show your cards. You make a lot of mistakes. All right, you do things and you act based on what you feel. All right, and that can lead to certain other situations to happen to you.
Yeah.
All right. So I say something.
But a good example is I know this girl. She's like one of our people, and she's got sickle cell like me, right? There's only Israelites get it. But when I saw her, because I did a talk 3 months ago in a medical school, and she said her sister, who had sickle cell, committed suicide, man.
Right.
She had sickle cell and epilepsy, and she couldn't take it. Add to the fact that Esau treats us badly in hospital, she killed herself. They never said how, but the reason why she did that, she didn't know who she was,
And she didn't know the truth.
and she didn't know why she's suffering.
Right.
When you come into this truth, that's one of the things that really makes you stable, man.
Right.
Why am I suffering? When I was at a Benjamite church before the truth, I said to the pastor, why am I sick and suffering? And he was honest. He said, I don't know. I respect that, because he doesn't know. You know what I mean? But most of our people, you have no faith.
Right.
That's why. You're not given enough tithes in the money pot, man.
That's the pastors talking.
Yeah, them wicked pastors, man.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so
They need to get paid.
yeah, they need to get paid, man. And listen,
Stay their life.
Yeah.
Life going.
and the only thing time Yahushua got angry was when they were selling things in the temple, wasn't it? You know? So she's dead now, man.
Yeah.
So that's why you got what's the word? Treasure this treasure, which is the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's really the bottom line, man. The bottom line of the matter is just look, man. At the end of the day, there's only one way, man. There's only one way. Once you go to that one way, you are right, man. But when you try to find other ways, man, you're gonna bug yourself out. You're always gonna be unstable, man.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
Hosea 24 verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Right. Again, the truth. What is the knowledge that they lack? The knowledge that's gonna stabilize. Go back to Isaiah 30.
Isaiah 46.
No, the one you had before. The stability of that time.
Yeah.
That's why they're making a mess of themselves, because they don't have the truth. They don't know the truth.
Isaiah 36.
In the core of the truth is fearing the Lord.
Yeah, that's what it's
That's the core of it all. Right there. Once you have that right there, you good. And then it's nothing wrong with fear, because fear is equivalent to fire. Okay, fear, if you have the fear of the Most High, you're gonna do the right thing. You're going to be motivated to do what's right. Okay, and if you didn't have the fear of the Lord, you're just going to do wrong. You're not going to consider or examine the wrongs that you're doing, and also be aware of the consequences. And what we're going to see full hand is the consequences of evil. We're going to see it in this day and age, in this time. This is not going to happen 100 years from now or 20 years from now. This could very well happen within 5 years. Okay, and we're going to see Esau go through his judgment, and that's going to let man know the devil from there. The Lord is going to make a prime example out of Esau, like how he made a prime example out of those Canaanites. All right? And that's when man is going to fear the Lord again. Go on, bro.
That's it. Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Right.
And strength of salvation,
Right.
the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Right. So if this knowledge is going to stabilize you, go back to Hosea, brother. If this knowledge is going to stabilize you in the day of great dread, the days of dreadfulness, let me say that, then it's going to stabilize you on all aspects of life, in every aspect of life. Yeah. So that's the benefit of knowing the truth. Come on. See, we're talking about that's the topic we're talking about right now. Is the truth, the truth.
Moses always says that as well. He goes, this my man's kingdom is going to be brought down by a little thing called truth.
Yeah.
And it's true, man.
Yeah.
Now we know who the devil is, man.
Exactly.
Walking past us right now.
Well, he could be. We don't know, brother.
You don't know
he
that.
could be a chick, you know. He could be a chick.
He's got the same physical attributes as the devil, man.
Right.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Because, brother, you know the history of England, man. You know, you know what's up with England. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I want you to understand is what I want to bring to your awareness, not understand, but you understand, right? Is that there's more Jakes out here than there's Edomites, man.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah. They had a program said 3 million people that look so-called Caucasian are actually Negroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said it on the program. And they had the woman, and she was in Liverpool. She goes, I'm a 10th generation descendant of a boy, 10-year-old boy that came to Liverpool on a slave ship.
See that?
So you go, man.
Yeah, you have a lot of Jakes that look like Edomites, man.
Yeah.
But we still are going to condemn Esau. We're still going to condemn the people of Esau and Edom.
Yeah.
We're going to let them know that they're going down for the wrongs that they've committed. Yeah. And even if we don't say nothing, it's still going to happen anyway. Go on, bro.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Right.
I also shall reject thee.
Right. Going back to what I was saying, once you leave the only way in truth, the light, then you're gonna lead to destruction. So when we come out here and we tell our people, look, this is who you are according to the Bible, and we let our people know that this is their historical document, and they want to go away from that, all they're gonna do is swallow into their madness. The madness that they're going into, or that they believe in, is going to level them. Level them to the dirt, with which they've came. Okay? Go on, bro.
I also shall reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Right.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Right, so give me the Proverbs, the first chapter. Proverbs 1, and where it speaks about how the Lord will laugh at them where the calamity comes.
Oh yeah.
And what people are going to find out, like I said, because we live in a world where people have this philosophy in their heads on how they can do what they want to do. They're under that do as that will kind of spirit. We're free to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. You want to be free and do what you want to do, but there's going to be a consequences to the things which you have done on the earth. All right, go on, bro.
Proverbs
So how free are you really? Go on, bro.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 25. No, verse 24.
Yeah.
Because I have called, and ye have refused.
Right.
I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded it.
Exactly. So people are going to find out, mainly our people, the nation of Israel, most likely they're going to find out that how they're going to find out what it means to go straight from the truth. And what they're going to realize is that they should have came to the truth of who they are. Not going according to the ways of this world, or going according to the ways of Kemetism or Rastafarism, these different doctrines out there. No. They're going to regret the idea that they should have came to this, but it's going to be too late. Go on, bro. They're going to call on these different things, okay, of the different gods they believe in. And you even have Israelites sue that quote the wrong name. Yeshua, and you even got Israelites saying Yeshua now. You got Israelites saying, well, as always, you found the GOCC, Haya,
Yeah.
Yeshaya Haya.
Yeah.
They're going to be calling on that name, and there's not going to be no response. Okay? Or most Christ and, what is it? Most High Christ and blessed. They're going to call on Christ, Jesus the Christ. That ain't going to save you, man.
Hey, listen, say something.
Yeah, go on.
Hey, we called on Jesus Christ in slavery, man.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
He was nowhere to be found.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't exist, brother.
Yeah, he doesn't exist, man.
Yeah. So you have to call on the name. There's only one name. Give me that in Acts chapter 4, brother. Acts 4:12. There's only one name. There's not 99 names. The Muslims will have you believe. Oh, God has 99 names. You can call him whatever you want to call him. You can't call him whatever you want to call him. Okay, again, we dealing with the truth. What's the truth? The truth is that that's one aspect of the truth. Is that the Lord has only one name. His name is not Ahaya or Yeshua or Yahweh or whatever these nasty names. All right, the name is. Well, I'm not gonna expose that name. All right,
Acts
you
chapter.
expose it all the time anyway. Go on, bro.
Yeah, we do it all the time, man.
Yeah.
Whoever receives it, they don't.
It's meant for you to receive it. And even if let's say we do expose it, you got people out there that can't even, they can't even pronounce the name right. Even if we tell them the name.
Even if
So
you
it's
break
spiritual.
It's like even if you break it down and tell them what name means, they're not bothered. So
Yep.
yeah. Acts chapter 4 verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other.
Yeah, neither is there any salvation in any other. Exactly. All right. So there's only one name. There's only one name, man.
For there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.
Exactly. Exactly. Whereby we must be saved. So the name that's gonna get you to your salvation is the name of the Lord. The absolute and one name.
Yeah.
All right. When you quote His name on the what is it in an absolute way, man, the true way. Go on.
That's true. So I said,
Read that first and you can say something.
read that first, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower.
Right.
The righteous runneth into it
And I say
and is safe.
exactly. So once you have that name, then it's all good. It's all good. It's like we're gonna say again. The name is not Jesus, or the Christ, or Yeshua, or Yahweh, Ben Yahweh. Yeah, this is the Israelites. Okay, what we're saying, what we're saying is that the so-called blacks, the so-called Negroes, all the way down to the Latinos are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, the Israelites. That's who we are. We're God's people. If you want to expound on that, brother.
Yeah. Where are you from? Israel. Oh, okay.
Oh, what is it? Well,
okay, fair enough.
But just to let you two know, those people over there in today's Judea, they're not the real Jews.
Converts.
Yeah, they're converts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just something that we gotta just let them know.
See how dumb they are, man. I thought they were Edomites or.
Yeah, they're probably from Palestine or something. Probably Palestinians. But you got some of them that live in Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, there's the absolute truth, man, and we have that truth, and that's what's keeping us afloat and stable, man. Go on, bro.
Leave me. Zechariah chapter 14 verse 9. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
Okay.
In that day shall there be one Lord and his name one.
Right, and read that again.
Right?
Let's read that again, yeah.
Zechariah 14 verse 9.
Right.
And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
So that's one part of it. He shall be king of all the earth. Go on.
In that day shall there be one Lord
Yeah.
and his name one.
And his name one. So it's one Lord. So being that it is one Lord, it's going to be one name. Now the Lord can have many different names, and He has many different titles. Of course He does. But the main title or the main name that He wants to be known as is the name that we bring about to you all the time, and that's the name. There's no other name under heaven that can deliver you. So if you're calling on Allah Akbar and like I said, Yeshua, Yahweh, and what is it? What's the other names they say? Ahaya, Yeshaya, and all of these different these names that doesn't link up to who the Lord is or what His name is. Then it's not. You're not dealing with your salvation.
That's it.
You're dealing with your destruction because the name is what's going to bring salvation. Go on, brother.
See that one, Proverbs, what is his name?
If thou couldst tell, I think that's in
30 Psalms?
yeah, Proverbs 30.
Oh, Proverbs, that's it.
Yeah, Proverbs 30
4.
something now.
Yeah, 30 verse 4, slap.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no any other way we can really put it. It's just what it is. You're going, bro.
Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4. Who have ascended up into heaven or descended?
Right.
Who have gathered the winds in his fists?
Exactly. Go on.
Who have bound the waters in a garment?
All right. Go on.
Who have established all the ends of the earth?
Right. Who have established all of the ends of the earth? Go on.
What is his name?
Okay.
And what is his son's name, if thou can tell?
If thou canst tell. And that shows you right there that again it's only one name. We just read to you in the what is it?
Zechariah 4:9.
Let's get that again, brother. Zechariah 14:9. We just read to you in Zechariah 14:9 that there's one Lord, showing you that there's one entity, there's one creator, there's one God, and there's also one name. There's not many multiple different gods, as people would like to believe. No, there's only one God. Now, there could be a creation of many gods, there could be a creation of philosophies of man, but there's only one true philosophy and there's only one true God. Go on.
Zechariah 14, verse 9. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
Yeah.
In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one.
And his name one. So there's only one Lord. In other words, it's going to be one power. And it's one name. So you're not going to have multiple different gods or multiple different things by these multiple different gods. No, it's only one power. That's going to deliver the nation of Israel. And that's going to stand forever once the kingdom is set up. Okay? And that's a part of the truth. Go on, brother.
Everyone wants to be known by one name anyway. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that's human beings, how much more the Heavenly Father?
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Exactly. Great point. Because we've all had nicknames at one time, but there's a main name that stands out that we want to be called by. You know? So there you have it, man. You're gonna bring something else in, yeah?
Yeah. Because right now we're in a, what's the word? Forget it. Great spirit. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, because right now we're in a period of, like if you have a bill, over which we probably have loads of us, you know what I mean, bills coming out of our ears, but they give you a period of time to pay the bill.
Right.
That's what the Lord is doing now, man. So this is your time now to get this righteousness, and it's not far away.
Right.
They can come. Yeah, there's a brother that comes to listen.
Yeah.
So why can't you do that, man?
Exactly.
But then when their kids die or get stabbed, why, God, why?
Right. Yeah, because it's all ignorance. It goes back to being ignorant of their power. That's what bringing to you the truth of the power. But like the brother's saying, when something goes down, or their son or their daughter gets shot in the hood some way, all of a sudden, oh please, oh Lord, they crying to the Most High. But the Most High was right here. Because you're not going to see the Most High, literally. The way you're going to see the Most High is by His prophets.
Yeah.
You see, and they're bringing to you the truth of what's really going down. But if you can't get hit with this, then that's on you. That's between you and the Heavenly Father. Go on, brother. If something go down, you can't get mad about that. Go on, brother. And all hell breaks loose, guess what? Everything's going to be stable for you in that day. That's why it says in the book of Psalms 91, we're going to go there. I'm going to expound on what I'm talking about. I just want to I'm going to get this out of the way first, yeah.
Revelation chapter 3. Verse 10,
Yeah.
because thou hast kept the word of my patience,
Right?
I also will I keep thee from the hour of temptation.
And that's the Lord stabilizing you. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time. So what is the time that Isaiah was talking about? The time when all hell is going to break loose around us. That's where we're going to be kept and stable in mind. So So if this truth is able to do that, then it's going to stabilize you as you go on your walk and your journey of being the truth. Yeah? Because you can know of the truth, but how much more of an understanding do you have of the truth? And that's the key, is the understanding. Yeah? Go on, brother.
I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So when, let's say, for example, when the trip is brought before you, and the powers that be, they come before you, and they tell you, look, you got to take that trip. Or let's say a cop, or the cops tell you that, right? They take you to a concentration camp, and they try to manipulate you to take that trip. They're using these different tactics to play on your emotions. You're gonna shut that down. Whatever they tell you, they're gonna shut that down. See all this fumes and stuff like that? That all goes back to not going dealing with the truth. So it's like when you look at Esau, I don't mean to go into something else, but when you look at Esau doesn't rule by truth. And this is why you have air pollution. You have sicknesses amongst the people. You have all of these different pestilence that are going on that people are being afflicted by. Because this world is not governed by truth, it's governed by lie. Right? And that's why there's so much suffering going on in the world. Go on,
I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation,
right,
which shall come upon all the world,
all right,
to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Exactly. So when this temptation comes, we're going to be all right. We're going to be situated. We're going to be stable-minded. While everybody else is going to be just going crazy, screaming and hollering. All right?
Suicide.
Committing suicide. They're going to see things that they were usually seeing, and they're going to drop dead over that. All right? Because there's going to be a lot of deaths out here. There's going to be a lot of death and destruction hitting these major cities. And the reason is because the people in the major cities were proud, and they lack of the truth. Go on.
Exactly. And in this scripture, when it says the whole world, the Greek word is oikoumene, which means the whole world.
Exactly.
So when the, like Apostle Paul said, when the chip comes into force, not just going to be here and the militarized troops here in America, it's going to be in all the nations, man.
Yeah.
That's why they call that building, what's it called? The United Nations.
Right, the United Nations.
Yeah, they're confederate against us.
Because you have Israelites that are all around the world too.
Yeah. So it's going to affect everyone. So that's why you have to look up the meaning of words, man.
Yeah. Like we was going into last week about the word world in the book of John. Now when you look at that word in the book of John, the word there is cosmos. And the meaning there is what is the arrangement of the stars, right? But we gotta go one deeper, because when we read the Old Testament, there's scriptures listed in the Old Testament showing you that how the Lord likens the nation of Israel as the stars of heaven. So the cosmos that it's talking about is the nation of Israel. So going back to what this brother was saying, you gotta look at these words. You can't just read the scriptures verbatim. Oh, that's it. No, you gotta look it up. You get the proper understanding of it.
So I back you up with that.
Yep.
Isaiah 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
Right.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
Right. Because Israel is a cosmos, or a world without end. Okay? That's the cosmos that's going to be delivered.
I'll go back to my position.
Right? Yeah.
2 Corinthians 6 and 3. Psalm 2. For he saith, I have heard thee in the accepted time, and the day of salvation I have secured thee.
I have fed thee.
Behold, now here is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation.
Now is the day of the salvation. So when you came into the truth, that was the salvation right there. That was the beginning of your mercy. And then ultimately the manner that the salvation is going to manifest. The getting beamed up and all of that is going to take place. Go on, bro.
Verse 3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed.
Right, that the ministry be not blamed. Go on.
But in all things, approving ourselves as the ministers of God,
Keep going.
in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults,
Right.
in labors, in watchings, in fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering.
Right, by long suffering. So if you have the truth, again, to see what the Most High is doing is the Lord is magnifying his word. The Lord is actually magnifying his word, which is the truth, by us going through the hell and the struggle. So once we come out on the other side, then we declare that this truth didn't stop, this truth didn't pursue the struggle. Okay, because we're bearing his knowledge, right? So what the Lord is doing is the Lord is testing out his knowledge to see how much we can bear by having his knowledge. And like I said, if we come out on the other side, then it would be a proof that his knowledge was definitely stabilizing.